We're back today with a couple more races in WOR Season 11. We're here in Tier 5 on Xbox, and yeah, it's rounds 10 and 11 today then of the season. Coming up first, then we've got the Portuguese Grand Prix. With the first of two new tracks into the game. Obviously they've been added later on. So yeah, racing here at Portugal then for the first time in an F1 game, and I have to say I really hope that this track does come back again in the future, because this is a really fun track to drive. I've driven around here before in a few other games. I think Grid Autosport had this track, and some other games as well that I'm trying to think of now. I think maybe Assetto Corsa, I can't really remember now, but I've driven around here before and it is a track that I do enjoy. Never driven around here in an F1 car before though, in a game obviously, but once I got it hooked up and I was quite happy with the setup, I really did enjoy it. And so yeah, this is why I really hope it does come back in the future, because it is just a really nice flowing track, and I enjoyed the races here as well in real life. So I certainly hope that this track is back on the calendar sometime soon, or at least that Codemasters start adding in some tracks that aren't necessarily on the calendar, because I mean they technically did do that with China this year. So I'm hoping that this isn't the last. This isn't the only time that we come to Portimao then for F1. But yeah, our qualifying lap then is P5. Limjet then once again by a huge margin on pole. Slapbus second, Chris in third, Liam's in fourth. Then we've got third down, Alex was in fifth there. My teammate Lowe's in ninth, Amazed in 10th. So once again then some of the big players here spread out throughout the field. So that could once again be quite an interesting then see how that plays out. Now then, in terms of strategy, I wanted to do a one stop here. The game didn't think I could do that, which is why those two strategies are the same there, because I was trying to edit the top one so that it would show a one stop, but as I say, the game didn't think that was possible. But that is certainly what we're going to try and do then. 33 laps, so we'll try and go to around about lap 12, 13, 14, around about there. It obviously depends, of course, as well on what the others do in this race then as well, because we're quite a way up the field then, so hopefully we can stay with the front group here and see what they do, and we'll obviously base it around that then. As we're lining up now then on the grid, we really need a result here then. We need to get some points back on Limjet if we can. We're on the grid and the lights are coming on now, and we are away here then in Portimao for a pretty good start here then. Liam's had a good start there. Alex has not had a good one. Callum had a good one there behind us. We go over to the middle a bit there to cover it, as Liam there goes at the inside of Chris, and Chris ends up out wide. So we're going to capitalise on that then and get ahead then into turn 3. He's still there alongside us though, so we're giving him some space here in turn 4, but we managed to get ahead then and up into 4th position. So a good start for us there then. As we're seeing up at the front, Slapbus has overtaken Limjet there to take the lead, so that's potentially good news for us then, because obviously that's going to halt Limjet's progress, and if he was hoping to run off out the front, as he has been doing in some races recently. As Liam there a little bit out of shape, but we just couldn't quite get close enough. And further back there was actually an incident which involved Alex, Amazed and Levy there. I think it was a sort of a 3-into-2 situation in the first corner, and then that caused some more carnage then as others were trying to avoid it. But for us though, we're still up in 4th then as we skip to lap 6, and this front group then all stayed together, which was good for us then, as we've still got Slapbus then in the lead at this stage. But we were just about clinging on here then with the DRS, which was good news for us then, because we were just about able to stick with this lead group then, and we had managed to build out a gap to those behind us as well then. So this is very much a 4-way fight for the win at this stage, with Callum 2.5 seconds behind at this point, and also with a penalty there. So it's looking like it's between 4 of us here then potentially for the win, and we are just doing about enough here then to keep within DRS range and stay in this fight ourselves here then. As we see then, Limjet finally does take over the lead then, and reclaims his lead then, having started on pole position. But we'll see now then if Slapbus can fight back. It does look like we're all quite similarly, fairly similarly matched here then. Obviously probably a little bit of rubber banding going on here, not going to lie, with me here being kept along here with DRS, and I think possibly Liam as well a bit here. But hopefully we can stick with him then, and hopefully now then yeah, we've still got a chance here of a good result and hopefully taking some points off Limpjet here. Slapbus does indeed then retake the lead here on lap 12. Now I wasn't really sure what to do here in terms of strategy here. I was thinking I was just gonna, like, it seemed like around about the right time to pit, but I decided that I would do the opposite to what the majority of them did. So if no one pitted, or if just one of them pitted, then I was going to come in on this lap. But if two of them or all of them pitted, then I would stay out. So that was what I was thinking here. And we see then Slapburst and him come in, so yeah, I stay out then. Follow Limpjet here, and yeah, we'll see then what we can do with, well, going out an extra lap. Obviously that means we'll have a lap fresher tyres then once we go over to the medium tyres here then. But yeah, obviously the game didn't think that we could do this, but yeah, it's clearly is possible then, as yeah, we're assuming the medium tyres can go 20 laps here, which you would think they can if the soft tyres can do, you know, about 15 including qualifying. So yeah, we're in for a start then. Limpjet actually staying out another lap there, as we've actually had a crash then for TLR10, who was gone off then in the final corner there, and yeah, he was up the field then, having not pitted yet. But yeah, we're on to medium tyres then. We'll see then how powerful this undercut is, as we look out for Slapburst and also Liam here then. And we see the Slapburst has gone through then, and slows Liam there just about. Obviously we're going to lose a little bit of time here offline in turn 1. As the safety car comes out then, I was going to say we haven't lost too much time there then, but well, we're going to close up to the back of him now then straight away anyway. And for Limpjet, that means that he is going to have a big advantage here then with his pit stop, and he will probably be ahead of Slapburst and Liam here then. So that is going to be good news for him then. But what isn't good news for him is that both Ben and Bybin stayed out here then, so he's not in the lead, he's in 3rd place then. We're in 6th at the moment, but obviously, as I say, 2 of those cars haven't pitted, so yeah, we're going to end up ahead of them eventually. But yeah, they could potentially throw a spanner in the works, or at least Ben will, because Bybin has changed his mind then and has decided to pit here. So yeah, yeah, not sure what he was thinking there, but I guess maybe he just changed his mind or something. But yeah, nonetheless then it's just the one car now then that is yeah, in the way then of this lead group at the moment. So I guess Ben is probably going to try and stay out here then and go over to soft later on, maybe predict another safety car. And yeah, I guess Bybin probably went over to hards, and I'm guessing. But yeah, he's the one then who is going to dictate this restart, and he really does not want to get, well, to get slipstreamed here, because obviously it is a very, very long run here towards the first corner from what I think is considered the penultimate corner, and then obviously the flat out final corner. We are now back racing, and yeah, we're a little bit behind Liam here then. We've got Pingu challenging us towards the first corner. We cover the inside line though, and that will be enough then for the time being. But I think we'll have to cover again then into turn 3, and that is what we do just in case. And it looks like that was the right decision then, because we've managed to maintain our position here then, as Ben is still leading the way then. So he did get that restart right by bunching it up until the last second. And yeah, we see then a little bit of contact in fact there between, I think was it Slapburst and Limpjet there. I couldn't quite see, but Limpjet's out wide. He's also got a 3-second penalty, so that really has thrown a spanner in the works then. And yeah, we've got a very good chance now then of potentially taking some points off them if we can keep it clean here. So we skip to lap 20 then, where Ben is now starting to get overtaken, and yeah, that's Slapburst, Jet and Liam that have all got ahead of him. So we really need to try and get past him as soon as possible here, because there's a good chance that we will get cut adrift here if we are stuck behind him for too long. So we're just going to have to go on the attack here straight away. He had DRS as well there, but we do as well. We're up the inside then into turn 5, a little bit aggressive there with a little bit of a block pass, but yeah, we're through then and up into 4th, and that was a crucial overtake for us there, because we could not let that front group get away, and yeah, we could not afford to lose DRS there. As we skip on to lap 22 then, where Slapburst has disconnected from the lead there, so that is a huge shame for him. Jet then back into the lead for the 3rd time in this race, and I guess, and Liam will be up into 2nd. We should be up to 3rd here as well then. But yeah, that is a shame there for Slapburst, because he had done everything right so far then and was up in the lead of this race. But yeah, it's gone wrong for him for now then, but he could still rejoin. And yeah, so I guess this is effectively now a battle for the lead then between me and Liam, because obviously Jet is going to drop back 3 seconds as it stands. So unless he can pull away, then yeah, it's between me and Liam at the moment. But Slapburst has now rejoined 2 seconds behind us, and the virtual safety car is now out then. So yeah, he won't lose too much time then, because obviously he can rejoin now then while we're in the virtual safety car. or at least get back into his car I should say, because he has rejoined. But now then, the virtual safety car ending, we were so close to our delta there, but somehow still Slapbus has recovered all that time and he is right on the back of us again. So I don't know how that worked, but yeah, he's basically lost, well, nothing except his position, because he's still very much a part of this lead fight then. Yeah, this four-way fight that has once again just resumed then after that safety car. So yeah, it's basically yeah, he's dropped to fourth, but he's still very much a part of this fight then, and we're going to have to go defensive here towards turn 5 just to keep him behind us here. And it looks like we've done just about enough on this occasion then. He's still slightly alongside us, but we've done just about enough then. We had enough of a good run there to get ahead of him, well, stay ahead of him for the time being then, but still we're under a lot of pressure at the moment then, and it does seem that he does very much have pace here to challenge for the win, well, as we've seen, but it's just been very much confirmed here then, because he is very much on the attack this end. And obviously there weren't a lot of overtakes going on before that. It was mainly just we were all staying within DRS range of each other. As Slapbus then now has a good run on us towards turn 1. He should have this one done now then. And well, he does go through, but then he ran very deep into the corner and ran off the track there. So you could argue that, you know, he did complete that one off the track there. But well, something that complicates that now is that Liam has got, well, Liam has made a mistake and he's ahead of him now as well then. We've got to go run him as well then towards turn 5. He's moved across, so we collide. We've gone into Slapbus as well, and we're all off there. And well, we're all going to keep on going there. I don't think anyone got any damage, but I got a warning from that. And well, we've all lost time then. And well, would you believe it, Limpjet now just running off at the front thanks to that then, because obviously we all lost time in that then. We slid into Slapbus as well there. Now, from my perspective, I don't think I did anything wrong there, because I was to the inside and I braked in a straight line, obviously, because, you know, can't really do much movement under braking. But yeah, just seeing that Liam was like moving across on us, like he made like one move and then it seemed like he just continued to move slightly left towards us, and I just couldn't really do anything because I was braking. Like from his perspective, it didn't really seem like that bad, so I think it was probably like desync, I guess. But yeah, I don't think I could do anything wrong there, and yeah, it's just very frustrating because yeah, as I said, I couldn't do anything, and yeah, well, we've all ended up losing out because of it there. And yeah, that's, well, we're 5 seconds behind Limpjet then, so even with that 3-second penalty, it's not enough for us now then to be getting ahead of him here then in this race. But we are at least past Liam now then and up into third, so hopefully we can hold on to this one then, and that is exactly what we're doing then as we head now then into the final lap of this race. And yeah, I was just wanting to make sure that I stayed ahead here then, because this is probably going to be his best chance here then into turn 1. And yeah, I was very low on ERS here, but I just about had enough here thankfully to stay ahead of him here then. So yeah, we hold it then into turn 1, but then he actually braked very late there, ran into the back of us, pushed us wide, and we got another warning which gives us a penalty here then. And well, I can tell you right now that that gets removed, because yeah, it's, well, I'm recording this about a couple of weeks after, and yeah, they've said yeah, yeah, that can be removed. So yeah, we're going to be third here then, as long as we can maintain our position. But yeah, there was, I don't think there's really much doubt here that yeah, I didn't deserve that penalty, because well, I had one legit warning, and then the other two they were instants, but I really don't think I could have done much in either instant to avoid, you know, getting a warning. So yeah, it only made sense really for that to be removed. So yeah, I was still very much pushing here then to make sure that I didn't lose the position to him on track, because I knew that I could reclaim this. And yeah, we're going to end up third here. But yeah, this was just a very frustrating race then, because I felt that we could have beaten, well, Limpjet here with his penalty if we had all stuck together in that group. No hate to him, of course, because he didn't do anything wrong. He obviously had pace here, judging by how quick he was once we all broke the DRS there. So yeah, no hate to him, of course, because he obviously drove a very good race there. But yeah, I just felt like such a missed opportunity for me there. So even though it is going to be moved up to third here then, that is still disappointing for us then, as yeah, as I say, Limpjet took the win, Slapbus in second then, and yeah, that's quite unfortunate for him there, because he was looking very quick then, so he may well have had enough then to hold this one to the end, well, and take the win, especially with the Limpjet penalty there. But wasn't quite to be for him then. And yeah, there are the final results then. Jet, Slapbus, me and Liam will obviously be swapped around then, so I'll be third and he'll be fourth. and yeah, Alex was in 5th, and yeah, Pingu Levy for yes, another double points finish there for Alpine was in 7th. I was just going through my race direct here then so I could show that to the stewards there, so that was what that was all about. But yeah, ABS Fan, Deer Hunter and Amaze there rounding out the points, and yeah, that was it then for Portimao. Moving on now then to Imola, and well, we desperately need a result now then, because yeah, it's just race after race now then that we're losing more and more points to Limjet here. So yeah, I believe we went into this one then 43 points behind, and this is the 3rd to last race. So if he outscores us by 7 points in this race, then it's over. He is the champion. So yeah, a race win then. Yeah, another race win for him. We'll wrap it up here then. So obviously we need to try and start that then. We need to really get a good result of our own here then. Yeah, because obviously we've had the one win in Canada, but really we just haven't had enough of those, well, enough of other wins then, I guess, because yeah, that was the only one. We've been pretty consistent. We've been in the top 5 whenever we finished, but yeah, just too many seconds, 3rd, 4th and 5th, and yeah, just the one win. So yeah, we desperately need to try and change that today then, really get a good chunk of points back on him if at all possible. And yeah, I was feeling very hopeful that we could possibly do it then. I was like more familiar with this track from F1 games, because obviously I've played F106 a lot, and that was back on this one, on that one I should say, but obviously with a little bit of a different layout now. So yeah, I was hopeful here, but yeah, qualifying there wasn't too great. I will say that it is going to be a wet race, so I was running a slightly different setup to normal then in preparation for that. So yeah, I was hoping that in the race it would be a little bit better then, as yeah, we see Limjet was on pole from Callum, Slapbus, Liam, Harjay, Levy then up in 6th, Pingu, and then me, TLR10 and Coda round out the top 10 there then. So yeah, hopefully then we can do better in the wet conditions. Now it's saying that the wet tyres will last the whole race, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case then, because the weather is suggesting that it'll be, well, we'll be getting dry later on, so it doesn't look like we'll be using the wet tyres then for this whole race, even if it is possible for them to do that. But yeah, it certainly looks at this stage then like we need those yeah, blue stripe wet tyres wet tyres on the car then at this stage. But yeah, we just need to try and get a good start here then, try and keep it clean, because I imagine there'll be a lot of mistakes here, a lot of incidents. So yeah, we just need to try and keep it as clean as possible here, and yeah, hopefully we will find ourselves up near the front somewhere. And yeah, we come back now then to the grid, and yeah, just waiting for these cars now then to line up now, and we've got the lights coming on now, and we are away then after quite a long hold there on the lights. And it's a tentative start here then for most people, but well, not for TLR10. He's had an absolutely storming start then, past it at least 3 cars already then towards the first corner, as we actually tapped Levy there, who was very early on the brakes there, and a lot of cars have gone off here in the first 2 corners. We've got Callum who's spun off there. We're up to 6th place already, and crucially, I didn't see it at the time, but Limjet was one of those cars who went off there then from pole position. So yeah, that is very crucial for him then. Obviously a win for him wraps up the title here, but that's just got a lot harder for him. As we head now then into Tosa, Harjay was very wide there, but we were almost out of shape as well there then, so we couldn't quite make the most of that one then. But still, we've got a really golden opportunity here then, if we can just keep it going forward, because we've already made up 2 places here. Into Piratella, Harjay once again a lot later on the brakes, but also running wide again there. So yeah, obviously we need to just keep on trying to hit these braking points right, and hopefully eventually, well, there we go then. Someone's made a mistake in front of us there then. Pingu has spun off. Yet again then we've got to go around Harjay and into the Variante Alta then, and once again he's braked too late and run over the corner there. So I mean, surely eventually if he keeps on out braking himself, we'll be able to get ahead eventually here, hopefully. As we're going to go run now then towards the Ravazzas here. Once again then he's later on the brakes, but once again then he's going to run wide here, and eventually now then we're going to finally get through here then, and we're going to end this first start then up in 4th position. So that's been a fantastic start for us then, as it's Slapbus who leads the way then from Liam, and TLR10 from I think 10th on the grid is up to 3rd already. So that is just an unbelievable start for him there. It was either 9th or 10th, and just incredible there. As we're very cautious on the brakes here into the first corner here. Harjay does go back through here. I think we got tapped from behind by Peanut, but yeah, got away with it. But Yeah, once again, Hardshade was actually out of shape there then after outbreaking us, but so yeah, we were able to retake the position then once again into the villainous chicane here then, and we're up into 4th position once again. But yeah, just a very hectic start then. Lots of cars going off in the first couple of corners there, and well, we've come out of it then up in 4th. Our championship rival, if you can even call him that because he's so far ahead, down the field, but by lap 3 he's already up to 6th place here, so Sennigan still needs to get a move on here then if we're going to get some points over him, as TLR 10, sadly for him, has thrown away that fantastic start with a spin there. And well, it's good news for us though, because we're up into the podium places now then, after well only just over 2.5 laps here then, having started down in 8th position. So yeah, it's very good for us now then, as we are catching up to Liam now then, who has dropped back a little bit from Slapbus at this stage of the proceedings. Then the rain is getting lighter, and in fact both Slapbus and Liam are in the pits now then, so we're going to take the lead here then. I wasn't really quite sure yet if it was time for inters. I hadn't heard anything from the engineer yet, so I was watching, I was like playing the game, but I also had on my other screen the WR broadcast of this race, and I was just yeah, trying to keep an eye on what they were doing in terms of their lap times. It looked like they did have some good pace, so yeah, I was straight in at the end of this next lap then to go with inters as well here, because yeah, it seemed clear then that this was now the right time to be on them. And yeah, away we go then for our stop. Limpjet also followed us in there as well. Alex has stayed out, and so has Callum there, so they are now the top 2 in this race. And we'll see now then how close we are to Slapbus and Liam here. Obviously they did have to make their way through quite a bit of traffic then on those intermediate tyres, so they may not have been as quick as they possibly could have been. And I think that's why we have actually closed up a little bit, because I do think the inters were certainly quicker, but yeah, they just had quite a lot of slower cars to get through, so yeah, that did slow them down quite a bit. So yeah, that's only helped us a little bit then to close up to them. As yeah, on to the next lap now then. Slapbus, yeah, setting the fastest lap there then, but the safety car is now deployed as we've got Callum and Alex in the pits there, so that may well have helped them out a little bit there then, that safety car at that time. For us though, we're up in 3rd place then, Limpjet now up in 4th, and obviously we're going to be right back on the well, the top 2 there once again. So yeah, it's the same top 4 from Portugal, but in a slightly different order here then at this stage, as we're ready to go back racing now then on lap 11. And we'll see then how Slapbus does this restart, because obviously it's a very long run here from the Ravazzas all the way to that first chicane here, so he's bunching it up quite a lot here. I think we actually got tapped from behind there by Jet, in fact, and in fact yeah, we did a 5-second penalty for both of us, because you know that makes sense, you know, you get hit from behind, so yeah, that makes sense to just give you a 5-second penalty. And well, the worst thing is that we're definitely going to be pitting again in this race, so there's nothing we can do about that. We're going to have to serve that penalty now then. And yeah, it's going to ruin our race when it happens, probably, unless it happens around the time of a safety car. That's the only thing we can really hope for now then in this race. And yeah, well, I didn't even want this first safety car, to be honest, because yeah, I wanted the wet running to last as long as possible, because I had a wet setup on. So yeah, that initial safety car was bad news anyway, but now we kind of need another one so that I can get rid of that penalty and not lose as much time here. But yeah, it's so dumb though. I don't get why any kind of contact and that happens in that scenario has to be a penalty for both cars. Like, it should either be for the one who caused it or for neither. And yeah, I was pushing a lot harder here now then, and I get my first legit corner cut penalty of the season, which is a shame because I really wanted to try and go the whole season without getting any penalties. Once I realised that I hadn't had any, I really wanted to try and keep that going. Obviously we had the one in Portugal, but that's going to get removed. And yeah, we got so close to the end of the season without getting any corner cutting penalties, but yeah, I was getting very annoyed in this race well, having my race kind of spoiled there, and I was really pushing hard and too hard, and yeah, I got a penalty there. Callum's now on the attack then. Obviously we saw him spin off at the first corner here, and he's now recovering then, and is up into 3rd place and almost at a shake there, and that actually hurt my chances there of getting a good run on him and towards the villain chicane, because yeah, I had to back out of it as well there, but yeah, he's looking a lot quicker anyway, and yeah, he is up into 3rd. So yeah, we're on to lap 23 now then, where the rain has now started, well, has now stopped in fact, and we've got Slapbus in the pits, and so is Limpjet. The track still looked quite wet here, so I didn't really think it was time for slick tyres yet, but that's certainly what Slapbus has gone for, and it looks like it's what Limpjet's going for as well then. DRS is enabled though, so of course they've got it bang on here then by the looks of things. But it did not look ready at all here for slick tyres. But I guess that is the right thing to be going for here then. Obviously, Limjet did have that penalty as well then, so yeah, he is 5 seconds behind Slapburst. And I believe he also had a corner cone penalty as well, so his chance to win this race is still quite low here. But yeah, so it's looking like it'll be quite hard for him to wrap up the title here, but still, it's looking like it's going to be quite hard for us to really make any inroad on him here, as we now served then this penalty that we can't do anything about here. And yeah, going over to soft tyres now then. So yeah, we're nowhere near Liam now then, even though he has more penalties than us. And well, Alex is in behind us. We're going to see then how close we are to Limpjet here. But other than that, I don't think we're really under threat from anyone else then at this stage. Because yeah, it looks like we're quite comfortable to everyone else at the moment. Limjet goes through then, so yeah, the soft, well, the dry tyres were quicker on the previous lap then. And yeah. It's looking up now that we may not get any better here than 5th position here, because obviously, as I say, we've got that penalty as well, the 3-second penalty. So yeah, even with those up in front of us having penalties, it doesn't look like it's going to make a difference to us now then. And yeah, this was just a very frustrating end to this race. As I say as well, I was running a wet setup, so I don't really have the pace to catch up to them either. I will say though that Limjet did immediately apologise after this race, so I mean, fair play to him for that. And to be honest, it's more the game that I'm annoyed at rather than him, because you know those little bits of contact, they can happen when the leader bunches everything up. Like those little bits of contact can happen, and that's just how it is. But it's so dumb how the game thinks, oh well, you both got to have a 5-second penalty then. It's so dumb, and it spoiled the race today. Then we are going to be 5th then in this race, and yeah, the title now is almost out of our reach then. As we see then, Callum though actually took the win after spin off at the first corner then, so that was a very good recovery from him. Obviously he got very close to a win earlier in the season in Canada, but obviously had that penalty which swung things. Yeah, then we see then Tom is on the podium again then for the 2nd race in a row, and so is Limjet then. He ends up 3rd in the end with penalties added on. And yeah, so it's still a good result for him there then. And yeah, Liam was in 4th. Yeah, I was there in 5th. TLR 10 in 6th, Alex 7th, Ben in 8th. Yet another double points finish then for Alpine, with Levy in 9th there, and Coda was in 10th in the other Alpha Tauri there. Now, there has been a little bit of a delay with the standings by the looks of things, because, well, at the time of me recording this, we still only got up to Portimao, and I still have my penalty added on in that one. So, yeah, I think there's been a little bit of a delay with getting the standings out recently. But I mean, you know, it's the same with me getting these videos out, to be fair. So yeah, we've actually done the race after this as well. So yeah, I don't think when I upload this there will actually be an actual standings for how it looked after Imola, but I'll try and work it out and have it on the screen for you right now. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Limpjet then is 48 points clear now then, going into the final 2 races. So yeah, 50 points to play for. So yeah, it's basically over. I think. I mean, he just needs to get 2 points then from the last 2 races, because he has a lot more race wins than me. So even if he only manages those 2 points and I win both races, then he would still win it on count back. So yeah, it's very much looking now then like Limjet is going to wrap up the title then this season, which to be fair he does very much deserve, because he's been very, very quick this season. So yeah, we're in 2nd place then, and it's really just a case for us now then of trying to keep that 2nd place now then over Alex and Liam, I believe it is, who is next after that. So yeah, that is it then for this one. I'm sorry if this was a little bit of a salty one, because I don't know if you can tell, but I was quite annoyed after these 2 races. I feel like I could have had possibly more, but it didn't work out that way. But yeah, obviously that's just how it is. And as I say, you know, it's not like Limpjet doesn't deserve it, because obviously he's been very quick. So yeah, he still very much deserves to be coming out on top in all of these. So yeah, obviously, yeah, fair play to him for those. And yeah, that is it then. Hope you enjoy this one regardless. And yeah, I'll look forward to seeing you next time then for the final 2 races of the season then. It's not Saudi Arabia, because there's a glitch with that, so it's going to be Abu Dhabi and then Brazil. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you for those ones.